Good evening, my people at home. How are you doing today? Hello, welcome to my program. How are you guys? Good evening to you. Good evening to everybody. You're welcome to my program again. I still remain your one and only self, Mofio Joe. How are you? How was your day? All my carers out there, all the carers wherever you are, whether you're in London, you are in Manchester, you are in Birmingham, Newcastle, Worcestershire, any part of the world, America, Canada, wherever you are, probably you're doing well, you're doing okay. How are you? How has it been? Yeah, I'm back again today. So I don't want to waste much of our time because we really don't have that much time. So what do we have in stock for ourselves today? I believe we did something about failed entry last week. And I believe you guys, you know what it takes to make sure that you report to your supervisor, or your supervisor might be. It depends on the mode of communication within your workplace. Maybe you go straight to the register manager, or you have to go through your coordinators before you get to your register manager. I really don't know, but make sure you follow the right process. Make sure you report what you need to report. Make sure you don't leave your client's house when you do not see your clients there. Make sure you see your client before you leave. You don't just leave. You don't go to your clients or your service users or your patient, whatever you call it, and then you're unable to see them, and then you left. No, you shouldn't do that. That was what we taught last week. Today, and I say last week, we're gonna speak about or have a discussion around something that is somehow common now, and one way or the other, people are actually breaking law, and I really don't know about that. So, with my own experience and what I've seen so far, people are indirectly or directly breaking the law. So, and then what are we discussing today? We are not discussing nothing much than confidentiality. We know what we mean by confidentiality. That is to make sure that, okay, whatever you know about either your clients or that you keep private, you don't expose it. But I think that is a mistake we are making if you really don't know how these things works. If you are in an organization, so let me just explain what confidentiality actually means and how people are breaking it indirectly without knowing they are breaking it. So confidentiality is a way of keeping whatever happened between you and your client private. Even within you and your organization, whatever happened within your state there, you don't relay it back to anyone. It's like having a discussion with you and your friend, and then you are not legally binding to make sure that you keep it private, but it should remain where it is. So when you are dealing with your client, whatever that transpires between you and your client remain between you and your client, except if you've got to report back to your organization, and that is back to your manager or to your coordinator. But in recent years, or in the last 1 year or something, I think people have been in because everybody wanted to make sure that they communicate very well between the workforce and the management side. Everybody wants to make sure that, okay, they are on the same page. And the only way they could be on the same page is to make sure that they communicate very well with one another. They relate well with one another. How do people relate? We relate in different forms. We relate through emails, we relate through text messages, and in recent years, WhatsApp. And I've seen many organizations sharing a lot of information about their clients on WhatsApp, which is, before I even go there, I want to talk about this because carers usually do this, and it's very, very wrong, absolutely wrong. As I said, this program is focusing mainly on you as a carer, most especially domiciliary carer. If just focus on you. But anybody who works in residential too could share from the experience. When you're dealing with anybody, when you're dealing with your service user, I've seen a carer who will go to service user and they come back and they discuss the same service user with their friend, with their colleague outside, which is absolute wrong. You have no right. You have no right under confidentiality rule to discuss your service user with anybody. With anybody. I've seen a situation whereby people who have never even been to a client, they knew or they know more about that client than even people who are in the management side of the whole thing. And they've never been there. How did they know? Because once a carer goes to anywhere, they see it, whatever they see in that, they just turn it to a discussion, a pool of discussion with among themselves. You are directly, not that one even indirectly, directly breaking confidentiality rules. When they send you somewhere, it's like you going to hospital as a patient, and then after a doctor or a nurse attending to you, and then they come out to discuss your matter with somebody else. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. You shouldn't discuss your client with somebody else. The only period you could discuss your client with somebody else is provided you are off or you are not going to be around and they are sending a particular person to that place. And you need to brief that person, okay, well, how to deal with that person, or where you put this, where you put that, where, to make the job much more easier for somebody who will take your place. That's the only time. And then it has to be somebody that is appointed by the authority, meaning by your bosses, your coordinators, your managers, whoever it is. You've got no right to discuss, and this happened a lot. I believe I knew that this is a sort of, how do I put it? This is a sort of, like you sleepwalk into something. Most of them, they really didn't know about it. That is wrong. Please, when you are being trained about any one of your courses, make sure that you know your stuff very well. Make sure you know your stuff. A lot of you are doing a lot of things that are wrong, but you don't see this to be wrong. You're trying to, okay, I'm only telling my colleague, either your colleague or no one, that client have not given you the authority to talk about them to anyone else, or that service users have not given you the opportunity to go out there and discuss about themselves. Even, let's come to think about it. Even when you go into service, you are the one that is allocated to that course. Yeah, you've been given a sort of, what's the name? A sort of a legal backing by an organization to be in that place by allocating you to that course. So when you get to the visit, from the word go, you've got to be even seek consent, even to attend to the client. Seeking consent from the client is indirectly, seeking a sort of freedom to look after the client. Okay, please give me a go ahead to look after you. I want to do this for you. I want to do this for you. Can I go? Yes. And if they said no, it is no. So now imagine somebody who you that even allocated the course, you even need to take consent before you even look after them. And then you now come out and you start to discuss that the same client with your colleagues who are not supposed to be there, who don't even know the clients. Sometimes you want to send a new carer to somebody, okay, somebody will not be working tomorrow, I want you to cover, and then, that man, I don't want to go there because this. Come on. You should never discuss your client with anybody. You should never. It's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's like me coming to you and then you discuss a lot of things with you, and then you went ahead to discuss that the same person, and I go ahead to now discuss yourself with somebody else that does not have anything to do with your what's name, with your health or with your services. You won't be happy. If you hear that, you won't be happy. And this is what carers usually do. I'm using this opportunity just to guide you. I don't want anybody to be in a problem. I really want you guys to know that, okay, there is, why you're doing a very good job, why the job is not easy. Don't just sleepwalk into a problem or into a trouble. It's not right. It's not right. You are doing a wrong thing. You should never discuss your service user with anybody, whoever that person is, even your colleague that is not allocated to that course. If it's a single-handed, you have no right to discuss with anybody. If you have anything to discuss, call your officers and then discuss with them. Call your manager and discuss. Even when you are discussing the matter, it should not be in the midst or in the presence of other people. You have to discuss that service user separately, away from other people. You see carer discussing other service users in another client's house. You see carer discussing other service user in the midst of other carers. You see carer discussing service user in the midst even of their family, of their friend. It's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's against the law. You just actually breaking a confidentiality law, and then what's the GDPR is also there. People can use a lot of things against you. People can use a lot of things against you. There are a lot of people who reacted to clients or to service users as a result of what they've been briefed by their colleague. You should never fall into that trap. You should never fall into that trap. You might not know who is hearing you, who is listening to you. I've seen this in a situation whereby a carer was actually pick a call from our office to discuss another client in another client's house. And that client actually went mad because of that. The client that they were discussing in a house actually went mad that, okay, that is the same way you're discussing my own thing in another client's house, so people will know everything about me. And it was like, I don't want that person to come back to my house. And it is what it is. Even that service user happened to be a very nice service user. People have escalated the whole thing beyond that by reporting to social services, or even escalated it that, okay, I had, and the worst thing was that that client was able to even remember the name of the client they were discussing, was able to remember everything that happens to that client that the lady was actually fielding his office back for. He was able to tell me everything, and I was shocked. So never you discuss your client in presence of your services, in presence of any service user. When you finish, go out, just stay somewhere, and then call. Make sure that, okay, it's not that you're raising your voice, everybody is listening to you, everybody is hearing what you are saying. No. Make sure that it is something that, okay, you are able to, when you're conversing, it's between you and whoever at the other side of it. If somebody is not eavesdropping, that's another thing entirely. It's not that you go by the roadside and start shouting, or you're in client's house and start shouting. No, nothing of such. So what you're actually doing is just to make sure that, okay, whatever you are saying, people are hearing you. I mean, the other side, people don't hear you. Yeah, that is one side. Another important thing that is going on, is now common almost everywhere now, is the using of all these social media platform to engage, which is good. It makes the job much more easier. It makes both the management side and the workforce side to be on the same page. Whatever that is going on, that people are able to relate to one another very quickly. But what are you relating? You are dropping massive loads of service user details on WhatsApp platform. I've never been to that service user, but I could tell you everything about a particular service user. It should never be. It should never be. There should never be any changes. Even when you are even trying to change hand, it should be decoded. It should be decoded. You're telling me somebody's name, you put the full name there, you put everything that is happening there, you put in what's going on in the house. I'm not giving you the right to put all my details on that platform. I'm not giving you the right. There are people who's trying to make the job easier. You will see, they will even tell you, go and check the platform on the platform. Everything is on the platform. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's against confidentiality rules. It's wrong. It's wrong. If anybody could lay their hands onto that one, yeah, you can use that one to educate yourself, to educate the workforce. Like, okay, you are sending information out. Don't do this. This is what you have to do. This is the right thing. That is a generic information. But when you now turn to be a particular information about somebody, that is against the rules of confidentiality. They've not given you the authority to put their details on that platform. They've not. Yeah, they could sign GDPR form for you. That does not mean that, okay, that is the only, you seek consent for them. Okay, if you want to relate with other agencies like the GPs, like the district nurses, then the physiotherapists, then you can go ahead and do that. on their behalf. But to now be sharing their details, their particulars, their everything on your platform is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Even people are sharing key code on platform. You should never, because let me tell you one thing, you do not, you might trust your workforce. You might trust your workforce, but you can only trust to a certain extent, no matter what. It might not be the right person, the actual person that actually goes there that will just do the damage. They know the address, you put the address there, they know the key safe. What stops them from, if you have bad ones among you? And who tells you there won't be any bad one among you? No matter the diligence that you've done. You drop that amount of information on your platform. It's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's something that I really go against. Even if you want to pass through within yourself, social services, I mean with the management force, within yourself, sometimes they will tell you, okay, you don't just send an email to us through your normal email. You have to make sure that you protect it before you send it. Now imagine you just drop like that loose of information onto WhatsApp that is not even protected. I could be working, my friend could pick up my phone and then be stealing my phone. What stops them from going into my platform? What stops them? What stops them? If anybody could have access to it. Do you know how many people that have access to each of your client carers' mobile phone? And people who don't even have anything to do with your organization will then be having direct access to your client's details. And do you know how they are going to use that details? Do you know? You don't. You don't. That's why I'm urging every one of you out there, I mean the provider, to stop using. Yeah, I'm not saying you should not use WhatsApp, but know the information you are dropping on that WhatsApp. Know the information you are requesting from your staff. You should just tell your staff, give them the, what's the name, company email, let them be sending information to, not even, they should never even use their private email. Let them send whatever they want to send, let them send it through their email, company email, so you'll be able to access it. Everything will be in line. I will only know what I'm talking, the other side that I'm talking to, what they are sending to me, not the top person or the top party. Other carer will not know what is going on. Other people will not know what is going on. Confidentiality is very, very important, but if we find a way to misuse the opportunity given to us to know more about our clients, because it's not easy for somebody to divulge everything to you and then you throw it out there. Even the one that has been kept very well, people are even still misusing. People find a way to get into it, not to the one that is even being dropped on somebody else. What's up, this thing, platform. Yeah, I really like the WhatsApp platform kind of a thing, but I don't think it's meant for what people are using it for. I don't think so. I don't think so. You should not be sending vital information through WhatsApp. It's not right. And then you see some people, they are so comfortable in sending whatever through WhatsApp. So comfortable in sending everything through their WhatsApp platform. No matter how much you train your staff, no matter how much you guided your staff, no matter how much you do your due diligence, people will still be people. People will still behave. You will see one or two that even behave, even more, that will behave out of normal. They behave out of normal. And the worst thing, you will never know who actually did what. That's even the worst of the worst. You will not know who actually gave that information away. You will not know. If you are 1 million on that platform, yeah, all of the 1 million are corporate. So, and you can even do your investigation from night till eternity and not able to actually fish out the person that actually did it. Because it only take one person to just pick the information on that platform and use it the way they wanted to use it. It's not right. But if I have a direct conversation with you about somebody, and you send me an email, and I find out that the same information out there, I know who is responsible. I know who is responsible. The only time you could converse between your colleague or those everybody, the client. It is when they ask you, okay, after somebody that's reading, what's the name, the support plan, but you are the regular carer there just to guide them. And the information you even need to give away have to be minimal. Just to guide them. Okay, I keep this one here, I keep this here, I keep this here, I keep this here. And if anything happens, you know that, okay, who and who have been there, it is me and you. Sometimes when there are issues in client's house and they say, who have been there, who went there, the clients complain that, okay, somebody just came to my house and I didn't know the person. And then they will be, okay, who have been there before? It might not even be people who have been there before if you have lots of that information on your platform, on your WhatsApp platform. It might not even be people who have been there before, but they knew that they will never think towards their own direction because they've never been into that place. And they could do whatever they like. Please, going forward, stop sharing information on WhatsApp. It's not a good thing. It doesn't help in any way. It doesn't help in any way. It's destroy relationship. It destroys trust. Yes, it destroys trust. But all this information are, and also because of what we're doing now, a lot of organizations are moving from what do you call it? From paper to paperless kind of a thing, and then most of the information are on their on the app. I believe those people who are responsible in designing the app should be able to. Yeah, I knew that. Okay, if you are not there, if you are not located there, yes, there's no way you'll be able to see someone else's information. I believe that's this one. That one is a bit better. Yeah, I think that one's a bit better. Because if everybody could have access to everything, then there's a problem. I think there was an app, I will not mention the name of the app, whereby whatever you are there, you are not there, you'll be able to see what other people are doing. That is wrong. That's absolutely wrong. That is when people are able to tell somebody, okay, it's on 10 hours while you are on 5 hours, or somebody's on 7 hours and you're on 2 hours kind of a thing. So there's a problem here or there. So people should never be able to have access to other people's profile. So now that people are now with a lot of information in their hand, I believe there should be a way to curb it, because the mobile phone alone, the information on that mobile phone alone within that app is massive to the extent that if it's misused, anything could happen. We're talking of human being here. We're talking of information of somebody here that could make or mark their life. I believe it should be well protected. Providers out there, please look after this information. Stop using WhatsApp to yeah, I'm not saying you can use it to do a lot of things, massive lots of things. You could use it to drop a guidelines, as I said earlier on. You could use it to educate your your workforce. This is what I want you to do. You could use it to send a generic email, messages out there, something that affects everybody, not mentioning anybody's name. So it's very, very important we follow this. So there are two things I've spoken about today. One, carer sharing information with your colleagues. Please stop. Please stop. You have no right to share that information with that person, because the person in question, the service, I'm not giving you the right to share the information or to share whatever with them. You don't go into somebody and started coming back out of the place and you started, if possible, you'll be able to write books about that person. You don't need to. You should never discuss your service user with anybody. You should never discuss them with anybody. You should never. They've not given you the right to share this. If you have a sort of episode with your services, call your office, inform your office. So it will serve as a sort of guidelines when they are sending somebody there next time. Okay, this mom might like this, might not like this. That's another thing entirely. But when you now come out and start to be telling them, if you see the room so dirty, this is that, the house is not this, the house is that. Even the kitchen, if you look at the kitchen, so beautiful, so this, so that, everything. They must have a lot of money. Do you know what you are doing? You're destroying that place because you don't know the person you are even telling. You don't know even who is hearing you. You can only trust yourself. You can only trust yourself. If anything happens within that time that you are telling them all sorts of, what do you think will have happened? Somebody just, okay, they've got money in that place, and then you go there one way or the other. But the amount of information people are giving out, you'll be surprised when you say, listen to them. You are not there for that. You're only there for about 30, 45 minutes, kind of. Look after your clients, get out. Always put yourself in their own shoe. Imagine I come to your house and I went out there just to, this is what your house or what you look like. You won't be happy. You won't be happy. You'll be mad if possible. You'll be mad. You'll be mad. It's not something that you will accept. That's the same thing that I'm telling you. Everybody should make sure that, okay, they do the right thing. As I said earlier on, as I always said, this program is mainly for my carers, most especially domiciliary carers, because you are the one that goes into someone's house. And apart from you going to someone's house, you're the one that always come out and then tell somebody, because in residential, they might be saying, okay, this is report back to their manager, this is how to handle this person. Yeah, the supervision is almost direct, but in domiciliary care setups is totally different, absolutely different. So please don't get yourself into any problem. Don't discuss your client with another person, except if you have been informed, okay, this person will be replacing you or will be covering you up when you're not around. Please tell the person. And usually, what do you tell the person? It's mainly where they could find things. You don't really teach them what they do, or you tell them, okay, that man might like this, or that servicer might like this, might not like this. Yeah, because it's one thing, your support plan says, okay, the likes and dislikes. There are something in reality that's a bit different. So in reality, you do it this way, you read it. That's all. It's just a few brief bits and pieces here and there, and you resolve your thing. Yeah, the second one that I discussed is providers using WhatsApp as a means of transporting information. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but use it for something different. Don't use it in order to change clients. What's the detail? You see some people dropping ISP or referral onto WhatsApp because they want their client to read through and then for them to have the idea of what they're going to do in client's house. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. For you believe that, okay, they will only use that information just to read and then that's all. You don't know how they're going to use that information. You don't know who have got access to their phone. You don't know. You don't know. Even if it is the phone given to them by the company, you don't know who have access to those phones. You don't know. You have no clue of how many people have got access to their phone. Yeah, please, let's stop. Let's stop. It's not the right thing. This is where I'm going to stop for this night. And next week, I'll be coming with another important topics. I want us to discuss about all this kind of a thing. So we'll be able to know what we have to do, because I don't want people to be making mistakes. I want you guys to go out there and do your job. Do your job to the best of your ability and do a very good job. So I'll be coming with another topic next week. And until next week, have a blessed evening. Bye.